Welcome to everyone. This is Anne with Junk Journals by Anne. Yesterday, I was at a Girl Scout event and it did not turn out the way I had planned or the council representative had it planned. Um, when she and I had talked prior to, I was going to attempt to have the girls make, and these were 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, cadets. And I was going to have them make a journal out of a bag, and I have a bag like this. I mean, this is just a gift bag like this, and the packet comes here. They fold it, fold it in, put a little signature in the middle of it, close up the flap on the bottom, make a little journaling card, make another card up here in the front, maybe glue one of these parts of this fold down so you don't have all that folding in there. Basically a very simple journal, okay? There was a lot of confusion between what I had asked for. Council was going to supply things. I brought a lot of things, like I had a lot of cardstock and various things that I could bring. She brought things, but when I said lightweight cardstock, I should have been specific, said at least 65-pound cardstock, or even heavier, because I wanted something to make, put the lightweight cardstock. I mean, the things that you get from the cardstock nowadays, we don't have the real heavy cardstock here locally. But you put it on something heavier, and like I like to use like 65-pound or heavy duty watercolor paper. And that's what I had wanted, but I didn't say it specific. And the other things just did not go as planned. I think girls had fun. They kind of got the idea of what they could do with the journal. I'm trying to make this get in the frame better. But today I want to continue. I want to make a journal like this, go step by step, and then I can maybe forward this to my contact at council, and she can send it out to the girls who participated, and they can get a hold of things at home and have a step by step how to make this journal. So, and it's just a really simple. I think it's simple. You guys probably think it's simple too, but maybe you're a basic beginner and you need these steps also. So I apologize it didn't go as planned. I'm trying to do this to make it up, okay? First of all, I had so many bags. I think there was 25 girls in this group, and I had 30 bags. I don't know what happened, but we ran out of bags because as I was trying to have them take these handles out, bags got ripped. Well, I'm going to first of all see if I can't repair this bag. I'm going to have to go find my tape. It's out of here. But there's no reason why I can't repair this bag and make it into a good journal. Okay, be back in a little bit. I'm trying to tell you about, I'm sorry that sound did not come across when I switched the video from portrait to landscape on my iPhone. And so I'm explaining here on the bag that this bag does not have as big of a little area in the back there where the flap is, the flap from the bottom of the bag. And so I was not going to do another piece of construction paper in there to cover that. And so I'm kind of showing that. And then I was measuring that space, and I think it only came up to about a half an inch, which is not too unusual to leave just as a brown paper bag. And then I think I'm just explaining about that, and then putting another piece of cardstock on that, what is the bottom of the gift bag. Okay, and then showing the other places that I'm going to put the brown paper or the construction paper on the bag. And then I got out some cardstock that I was going to select from, and I already had some pieces selected just under the cover. This is a lightweight cardstock. I don't have the GSM right now, but it's very lightweight, and it's what I would be purchasing at my local Michael's store. And of course, this is an older pattern. They usually use up their whatever patterns they have each season. So that's all that's needed. So I'm pulling out Um, the sheets that I already had looking there, there's kind of brown with pink flowers, some little pinky and brown butterflies. And if I was going to need more paper, I'm going to put the pink in there also. So then I'm putting the pad of paper, and you didn't hear the plop on the floor when I just dropped it on the floor behind me. And I'm starting to take measurements and to see how big the pieces need to be. And they were like 7¼ by 3/4. I'm not sure. I don't have that information right here as I'm editing the video, but I'm showing that there was 3 that I needed the same size, so I was going to make 2, the front and back covers out of the brown, and the inside cover out of the butterflies. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to set this one aside. I think I'll need that maybe for the back of the journal cards, and I can decorate with the butterflies. Okay, so this one is going to go here. I am going to do a corner rounder. Let me do both of these and see if they'll go together. I've got one of these We Are Memory Keeper ones, and I always have to look, see which one is the small one and the large one. I need to mark that. It'd be good. There's a place right here. I've got a white paint pen. I could just put a large and small, and then I would know. All right, all right. There. Wasn't fitting right. It wasn't quite open all the way. So I always take 2 hands with this for me. That one, those 2, excuse me, that's the front and the back, and this will be the inside of the front cover. Now, I did not make these available. I did not make a turnarounder available to the Girl Scouts. Number 1, I did not want to take my materials. They wouldn't they would not deliberately do anything, but when you got girls going, it's better to have troop equipment and then your own personal equipment. I was a troop leader for several years, on and off. I started by being a co-leader in 2002 for a girlfriend who's later, she was a co-leader, and her leader moved away, so she was going to quit. I said, hey, I had prior Boy Scout experience. What, how much work, how much difference would that be with girls? Little did I know, but I had fun. We had a lot of fun because my leader, the woman who was my leader, was also a very good friend, and we did a lot of adventures, crazy little things, and got to go to a local planetarium for an overnight thing. I don't know if we did more than once. We might have did that more than once. But taking sleeping bags, even at my age at that time, and sleeping on just a regular indoor-outdoor carpet, did not offer really good night's sleep. Yeah, I'm going to ink the edges. This was also not offered to the girls. They don't have to have it, but typically girls are not worried about the poor white showing. But if any of you want to make yours look more antique-y or old, it's that's just kind of what you do, is you ink in things to make them look older or cover up the white spots. Inking also does a lot of things to help the boo-boos. When you fussy cut, which is cutting out, like if I wanted to cut out just a butterfly and cut all around it, so I'd have that as a decoration, that would be called fussy cutting. And there's lots of things that people will fussy cut. Flowers and mushrooms and all sorts of things to decorate their journals. just say I'm getting better as I do more of it, but I have some eye issues, so sometimes I don't. Lining up the scissors with the line I'm supposed to be cutting sometimes gives me an issue, but I can always use a little bit of inking to cover my boo-boos. And there's almost always a way, something happens that goes wrong. There's almost always a way to fix it. So I'm going to get a piece of book page over here. This one. That can be my glue page, because I like to do that. And I'm just going to put stick glue on here. I'm using, this is just a Scotch purple glue. It turns clear, it dries, but it goes on purple, so you can kind of tell where you're gluing. Don't want to get it onto my mat, because then I'll get it into all sorts of things. Okay, so this was on the inside. All right, so that's where I want this one on the inside, and I'm just gonna put it on here like so. Now you could also make it a pocket if you wanted to. It's a little bit, this is pretty lightweight cardstock, so you might need to reinforce it if you were going to make it a pocket. But you could make another pocket, plus you all have all this that's opened up from the book. I probably will at least glue part of this closed over here. It looks like part of that is undone anyway, so I'm going to just glue this. I think maybe the girls cut this once they ripped the bag. I think maybe they cut it. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to make it work. Okay, so now we'll do the front and back covers. Just get glue all over everything, right? Especially around the edges. You want your edges to stay, but you also don't want big bubbles to appear on your bag when you do this, because they can snag and rip, and then you'll have your, whatever you covered your bag with will, tear. So do an adequate job of covering. All right, this looks like it's the right side up. Flowers look like the right side. I'm going to go for this front cover right now. This is just a little easy, supposedly easy bag, but we need to get people who have not done journals before, and maybe that's you. Maybe you need this yourself, and if so, I'm hoping I'm providing something that you can make that's not a whole big journal. This is just something easy. Some people, I know when I first learned how to do this, I think that first Christmas I was involved in this, I think everybody knew that got little journals like this. I was so happy I could do something, because it all looks so mysterious and so much to it. All right, let me see. I want my flowers right side up. Okay, and this is going to be my back. Try to even it down here, top and bottom. Not quite, but this is a junk journal. It will not be seen. Okay, so we have the front and back. So let's measure this one, and we're going to do this one and the butterflies, I think. And then we'll do the card with butterflies in pink. Maybe not. Maybe we'll see if there's more of this brown, and that way the card that we make to go in here. And since I'm going to use, I'm going to wipe that off just a minute, please. I don't like that big glob of glue sitting there. I've got wet wipes right over here. I tend to use alcohol wipes because to me it cuts that glue very well. Maybe my hands get a little bit drier. I don't know. They do tend to be dry in the wintertime. And just working with paper can kind of dry your hands too. I'm going to get some wet glue, And I like the clear gel Eileen's Tacky Glue for regular things like this. And I'm just going to glue down here on the edge and make a pocket. This glue comes out, so it goes pretty good. And here. Yeah, I got a little clip over here I'm going to find. Just use my reach. These are, oops, these are little clips I got at the Dollar Tree. I think you get 6 in a bag, something, but I just want to hold those in place for a little bit, and that will at least let that grab down. And so I want to measure this pocket over here where you can see me, what I'm doing. So if I have 1/4 inch there, and 1/4 inch there. So I would say 4 1/4. I'm going to write this down because I can walk off and forget. 4 1/4. And it's probably the same, 7 1/2. But we'll kind of see. 7 1/2 would be very good. 7 1/2. By 7 1/2. Okay, I will be back. Well, I decided there wasn't enough of this back material. Maybe I can make that on the tag that goes in here, or the journal card. We're going to use a journal card. That's what we'll call it. And then so I did the pink, and I'm going to round the corners. Get my corner rounder out here. This is always get it right in there. Okay. I will take a minute to ink this also. Inking's not the most fun, especially if you have a lot of it to do. But this is only one side. Sometimes you're inking both sides and folds and everything else. So all I can say is it depends on the size of bag you have, you know, and you have to measure it. I mean, you might have a smaller bag or a larger bag. You can go larger. I think this will hold now. Take these out of here. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink. It's one thing I'm horrible about is this could be cut down just a little bit more, but it will fit on this page, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it. And here's my glue page. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to glue it with just a stick glue. One of the ladies that I do teach a local class at Russell Farm Art Center. I have I started in, I think it was in June. I did June as a temporary class. Right now we're just kind of on a probation. If I bring in some students, she'd like to see me have, 15 students or so on a regular basis. But we're at 5 right now. Maybe this month of October, or this next month of October, I'll get more. I sent out a couple of messages today to some prior students. And we'll be making a Halloween journal or a fall journal. Some people don't want to do Halloween journals, and that's fine. But you can do, we're going to use Amazon packaging. I love being able to do some recycling with my efforts. Okay, so we got everything all covered. So now we're going to sew a signature in here. And what I've done, I've taken measurement here and figured that we could have like 9 1/2 inch page here, folded in half would be 4 3/4 for a page. And then this again is probably about the same thing, 7.5. I cut this wrong, but we're gonna make it work. This, I didn't get 7.5, I got 7. So let me fold this. I was thinking ahead, I was not thinking on the present time. Should I be thinking on the present time? Okay, I'm gonna just fold them in half. These are various papers. I'm not sure exactly. They were in that drawer that was supposed to be tea dyed. I don't know that they all are that one. This one has a little bit of something on it. I might get out a stencil later on. A little bit of stencil work, which also was not for Girl Scouts. We used stickers, and they had a lot of stickers. I don't know if a lot of them got their stickers, because by the time I got 25 girls and only 2 paper trimmers. Yeah. But I learned a lot. And I hope that our council person learned a lot too. And I do hope they will have a standalone event next spring. And I just have a class with junk journals and allow at least 3 hours for it. Because then I think we could do it and have some people, and I probably will ask some people ahead of time to maybe come to my house so that they can learn how to really help, and they can make one themselves so that they really know how to help and what they need, and then they can go from there. So, okay, so how many pages do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, we've got 8 pages, and I think that will be fine. Let me see how it's going to fit in here. I could stagger them, but I think with this journal, I think it'll be fine. And they don't really stick out the edge. They're kind of right to the edge. But I think it will just work out just perfect. And you can always trim just a little bit off here if you want to, because you see, you know, the more pages you have, the more they're together here. You know, they are pushed this side out too. The center ones are out farther. Took me a while to figure that one out, but you always want them in. I'm gonna get some clips now and clip them together into the journal. And I like when I do that because I want them to be right into the center crease. I want this crease in the pages to go right into that center crease, and I'm going to hold it. I'm going to put one clip up here at the top. And the other side I'm going to use down here at the bottom. Try to get in as straight as you can, and then by alternating sides, you tend to not, if you put it over here, your chances are you get the pages kind of uneven. So here, and where's those other 2 clips I had out of here? You can use these, I think. Will they reach? Yeah, just barely. Let me get one more. It's funny, I'm so used to using all, I didn't even think about it. I had 18 alls, little alls, I mean little like this size, that I got, somehow I messed up on an Amazon order or something, and I think some of these have disappeared, but I think there was 6 boxes, each of them had 6 in them, and I still had 3 boxes that hadn't even been opened yet, so I took those 18 to the class, and then the council representatives did not want to allow the girls to touch them. So I just started poking holes in them too for the girls that needed them, and we had to kind of share the needles. They didn't get quite enough, and they did not get big eye needles. And I said that, but you need big eyes. Okay, so I'm going to put a hole down here in the middle, and I'm just guessing. And then I'm going to poke another hole over here at the top, about an inch in, down from the top. There, okay. And then about an inch down here from the bottom. or I guess that is the bottom. I'm reversed. I think I have, this is the back over here. You could always do a template. Turn this around this way. Keep that in there. There. Just a little bit more oomph. There. Okay. I can put my ice pick back. Yeah, I just use a handy dandy ice pick from my mom. Something I inherited in her stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out some thread. I have this package of thread that I got, embroidery floss I got from Amazon. Let's see, we have a brown. I could take some of these other colors out. It's a blue. I don't have a lot of browns. Here's some maybe. Although I think a pink might be really, really awesome. There's some pinks over here. Just pink. I'm just going to do pink. I think I'll just do pink. It reminds me of when my parents bought a house when I was 7. And before that, they lived in an apartment. And then my mom decorated my room, and she made a little cover. I had a rollaway bed because that was what they could afford, okay? But Mom made it really nice. She made a cover on it, the desk cover. 1, 2, 3. 3 lengths is what you need. And I'm going to cut this. Anyway, and then she painted my room. It was the pink on the walls with the brown, chocolate brown accents. And I don't know why, but I don't like brown nowadays very much. That's not one of my favorite colors. Actually, my favorite color is blue. And more of the aqua blue is my favorite, but I like this color blue too. When I saw this mat, I was looking. I would have done a pink one if I found one, but I found this on Uline, US. Now, this is a big-eyed needle, and it's a blunt tapestry needle. This is what especially girls need, but anybody who's doing journals, it does not split the thread, or the chances of you splitting the threads so you can't tie it is less with a blunt needle. And so I'm going to try to, with this much, I can at least thread the needles. They had very small needles yesterday. The girls could do it, most of them. I didn't even attempt it, not with my eyes. Okay, so you go out of the middle and come out the back. And I always like to hang my tail, if there's a clip that'll hold it kind of in place so that the tail does not pull through, is a good thing. All right, and then I go in to the inside of the book, and it popped right through there. Okay, and take that tail out. And you kind of want it snug, but you don't have to snug it up quite yet. And then you go out the bottom to the back of the journal. And then you have to release that tail again. And now when I want to put this one in that center hole, I like to hold that tail in my one hand. Kind of hold it and keep it out of the way of the thread when you're threading that needle, when you're putting that needle in, so you don't split it, and it kind of pulls it out of the way. And then you have to pull this one up. It's through there and out of there, like this. All right, come on. How did you get knotted? Are you a knotted boy? So how do you? I'm not wanting to come out. Oh. There's a little knot there. So I might have poked that thread, but I'm going to hold this one so it isn't going to go through. But you know what? If you do have to go through the needle again, or through your holes again, take it out and start over, it is much easier the second time. I sweated that one time, and I said, oh my gosh, why did I, why was I so fearful of doing that? Just take it out and do it again. You got the holes already poked. Now, I like to take my ends pretty close together. Pull up your central thread, and you need one of these tails. Let me show you. One of these tails needs to be on each side of this central thread, because that's what you're tying the knot over. And otherwise, you're just tying the knot into paper, and it will tear out. So I'm going to pull this up and then try to tighten it there, and it's pretty snug. Okay, we do a right hand knot, a square knot, so right over left and under, and then right over left and under. There, okay. And this one I'm going to just tie, because it does tie flat. Just a little bow. Okay, take these pages off. Take the clips off, excuse me. Fold your pages, and sometimes you can use a bone folder and see them upside down, but that's okay. There, okay. And go through a couple pages at a time and kind of train them a little bit so that they'll lay flat. This, especially if you have a journal that's got more than one signature, it's especially helpful to do that. But now you want to kind of fold these pages so they'll go the other way. You can do a few pages at a time. Or you can take your time and do one at a time. It's your journal. How do you want to train it? Okay, so now let's make a card for in here that will go in this area, and another journal card that will go in this pocket back here. Okay, be right back. I picked up a few things here too. Let me get this. This is a little needle minder, and it actually will catch on that needle, and there's a little another magnet there that it will hold to a little piece of steel, and I can put that off to the side of my desk, so I always have it handy, and it doesn't, I don't lose it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to measure. We know that, I think this is 8-inch cardstock. It's a lightweight one, but I'm going to do 2 pieces together, and hopefully I can get both of these pieces out of here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8-inch square cardstock. And probably we'll need, this was, we probably use a 4-inch by 7 1/2. 4-inch by 7 1/2. Okay, and then what's the other one? 4-inch by 7 1/2, and then this one is going to be, measure this in here. We'll probably use a, where's my centerfold? Right there, okay. So we probably go 2 1/4. I don't know if you're seeing that. 2 1/4 by, it's going to be smaller than this because that to there, or is this glued in here? I'm going to do 6 3/4. There's there for that. So I will be back. And through the magic of video, we're back. All right, so I have my, I'm going to glue all 3 of these together, and I think I will round the corners once everything is glued. But that way I've got cardstock on the back. You can write on the back of it. You won't mess with the pink. We just had the pink in here. It does a coordinated color here. You could write on this one very easily too. So, all right, so let me get some gluing going. Well, it was really good to be able to be at the Girl Scout camp yesterday. I did enjoy that. But boy, I can sure tell I gave up being a troop leader about 2 years ago, and I'm glad I did, because there's just no way I could keep up with girls now. I mean, I can't even walk up there on to get out to camp without getting in using my cane and on the grounds. When things are, I don't need it all the time in the house, but when it's outside and the ground, when it's, uneven ground, or, the roads or sidewalks are unlevel or something like that, that's when I really need it. So, yeah, I use it. All right, now, you need to be nice. maybe if I put the flat one on my desk and put this glued one on first, I can do that. That went better. Put this together. It just makes it a little bit stiffer, and then by the time I put this on top of it, it will be stiff enough, because this is pretty lightweight cardstock. I don't know what I did with the box, but it's the regular kind of things that you get at Michael's. I go there more because it's just closer to me. There is a Hobby Lobby too, but I have to go further into Burleson to get there. It wouldn't matter which way I put this down, but I'm going to try to get it upside, right side up to begin with. I always turn around. Oh no, that did not go well either. Okay, try again. There. Sit and dry for just a little bit, and it is off just a little bit. I think I'm not going to worry about it too much. A little bit of trim there. We'll probably ink this in just a little bit. Let me get this other one glued. So, yeah. So yeah, they came home, and don't drive at night. So there was a concern and an offer for a ride from one of the other council ladies that wasn't working in this particular program, but she knows I don't drive at night. And but it was, you know, I told her as long as I left at 5, because it's still September, you know, it would be, and it was still light until I think the sun went down at 7:15 or something like that. So I would have had a long time if I was there longer. But I know the girls had things to do, and they had dinner to go to, and it was a council weekend where they were earning lots of badges. I'm not sure what all badges they earned. Didn't get to talk with too many of them, but I wasn't there for that. I was there to help them make junk journals. And I hope, you know, by making this video, I can get it out to the girls and their families, that they will know in the future if they want to do one, they can go step by step, and then they'll know what they were, you know, how to make one, and their moms will know how to make one, and maybe their moms know how to do things better. So, and if not, maybe they've got friends whose moms, you know, never know who in the troop is real crafty, you know, and can do something like that. Okay, I'm trying to get this lined up. See, my vision is that went pretty well. Okay, let me round these corners and then ink. I'll close up my glue. Nothing worse than a glue stick that's gotten hard. You just have to kind of chop it off. I got the wrong side anyway. No, I didn't. I had the right side. Maybe there's too much in here. Yep. Do have to clean this every once in a while. Okay. Shouldn't be any problem cleaning that off now. Yeah, maybe I'll have to trim it just a little bit. These are made, these big chompers, I guess you call it. They are made to cut through, you know, pretty heavy duty stuff. So That's why I got it. So the little ones just don't always do real well. So yeah, this one needs just a little trim. Yeah, okay, so I'll ink this. And since this is something somebody could write on the back of it, I'll make it back too. So a little bit more inking. That won't take long. And just no folds to have to do, and just one little sheet here, and then the other little card. Now the other thing I'm going to do is go find whale tail punches, because I've got some, and you know, whale tail punches are where the big thing couldn't even get a whale tail punch without it costing an arm and leg a few years ago, and then other companies came out with them, because I think it was Stamperia, I think. I might be wrong, but I think it was Stamperia put out the original one, and then they discontinued it. And I know I used my Cricut machine. I kind of designed it because you can kind of put a circle together with a square, kind of elongate it. You know, and I worked on it for a while, and yeah, some are better than others. But I do try to do that and copy designs like that are elsewhere. Because at least with the Cricut, you can change the sizes really easy. You know, if you want something bigger or smaller. So, okay. All right, this one did not like cutting it off, did it? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's ink this one. Doesn't need enough. And we'll have to run away again and find the whale tail punches, because I did take them out to the girls. I don't know how many of them got them. I don't think we even got as far as making the journal cards for them. Just have a journal. They can put hidden notes in their pockets. Girls are notorious for writing little letters, you know, little notes. If your daughter is one of the girls that was there at Camp Stevens, Nemo, Texas, the end of September, I apologize. Okay, I'm going to put this in the trash, and I will be back. Okay, I found a couple of whale tail punches, and these are definitely ones I made on the Cricut machine. As you see, there's a square there and taken out of a circle or something. Somehow I had these tabs, so maybe I even took a circle out of the circle. That might have made sense. Some of these are, you know, kind of like taking a circle or an oval or something out, and then they were, you know, fake whale tails. But I'm gonna fold them. And I know they don't match. I probably should have used my whale tail and just made new ones, but let's use something I've got. I am going to ink them just because they will stand out more. And and you can just make regular tabs. You know, if you're doing this at home, just make tabs of some kind. They don't have to be whale tails. I just did it because I kept hearing about it. When I was learning about junk journals, I kept hearing about whale tail punches, and you know, couldn't go buy a punch at that time unless it was, like I say, it was priced out of existence, so out of my budget. And then this is also, I did do, I had an old bed sheet that I had gotten at the Goodwill or someplace, and I wash it before whenever I get clothes at the thrift stores. I don't care where it is, a good thrift store or Goodwill or anything in between, whatever. Not that Goodwill is bad, but sometimes you get some different things. And I wash it, and I tore it in strips. And so this will give each girl, I'd say, you know, take one of these and cut it in two. You can wrap it around your journal, so we'll do that. But let's see, this looks like that's the up, so I'm going to put the journal right here. Excuse me, the tab right here. It will show up a little bit on this whole side here. A little bit here also. I love these bottles. It makes it that the glue is ready to go when you're ready to use it. Okay, we're going to come down a little ways because I don't want it to stick up too much. Okay, try to center that a little bit. See, and you can tell on here it wasn't made evenly. But it serves a purpose. It's got a little tab. Somebody could write on the back of it. And this one goes right in here in this spot. I didn't even check to see if it fit. I had to cut it off, I will, but I think it will fit in here. And then see the tab sticks up, and then you can pull it out with the tab. I'm going to leave it in place until it dries. So this one I want to put in the front of this. And so I want the tab on this side, so I can hold on to it when I pull it out. I think maybe in January we're going to do, maybe even February, some of these journal designs that you can make them. I'm doing this. I don't want it right at center. I want it above center, because in that center it'll mess with the tie. So this can go in here. Anyway, I was just going to say is I'm going to do some classes where you can maybe for the same amount you can do each class. You can complete a project. I'm going to glue this page up here. I mean this part of the fold up here and down here. I'm going to glue those together so that won't be so bad. Put that in here, put this back. There. Sometimes I lose that lid. I don't see it very well. Okay, I'm just going to hold it down until it grabs a little bit. And so that'll hold that together there at the front. And so it makes a perfect place. You can put in a card. And there's room for other things in there too. And that just slides in there. You got a little tab to hold it out. But there would be plenty of room for some other things. And then I would just take this wrap, I'd hold it with one thumb, and then just kind of wrap it around and tuck it in. So both one side comes down this way, and one side maybe is hidden. And that way you've got a little wrap, and or you could tie it in a bow, however you want to finish it off. So there we have a little paper bag booklet. It's not a real hard one, although for girls and for people who have not made journals before, it might be, so I wanted to do this. I wanted to go step by step so somebody could follow it. I hope you will tune in later with Junk Journals by Ann, and I'm going to get it posted. All right, and I'm going to close as always, and thank you for viewing. Please like the video, subscribe if you want to. That always helps. I'm not really, haven't decided if I want to play their algorithm games on YouTube or not, but it's fun having videos and trying to share things that I have learned. So hugs from Texas. Till next time. Bye-bye.